Hi everybody, thank you for pressing play on today's video. It's Caroline here from craftycarolinecreates.blogspot.co.uk. Today's project is a very cute little gift box that opens and closes using some magnets on the front there. I made it because I needed a gift box for a friend's gift, but I also wanted to try out a new technique because this is actually a no-cut box. So the whole thing is made out of one sheet of cardstock that is cleverly folded. So I'm going to show you how to make that because, as I said, it does have some clever folds. So I will do my best and hopefully you'll be able to do it as well. It's a really good size. It's 5 inches by 4 inches by 1 inch deep. And because it's a no fold box, it's actually really quite a sturdy box as well. So it'll be quite good for postage and for heavier gifts. So let's try and show you how we did it. Starting with a piece of cardstock. This measures 7 inches by 11. All of the dimensions will be on my blog as always, so don't worry about having to rush to write them down now. The example that we used was Calypso Coral with this gorgeous paper from the Pretty Petals Designer Series paper stack. We're going to use another Pretty Petals paper, but we're going to use, in this case, mint macaron for our cardstock. We're going to score it to begin with the long side along the top at 1 inch, 5 inches, 6 inches and 10 inches, and we'll turn that 90 degrees and then score it at 1 inch. Let me just see if I've got that. 1 inch and at 6 inches. Okay, I'm going to put my scoreboard away, but I'm going to keep out my stylus because we are going to do a few more little score lines. Okay, the first one we are going to do is in this end square. So it's symmetrical at the moment, so it doesn't matter which side you do it, but this end square at the end, sorry, the square at the end, what we need to do is draw a line from where this crosses to the outside corner. I'm just going to use a ruler to do that and just use my stylus and just make sure that you are going from corner to corner, and that will make the box fold up really neatly. So you need to do that at both sides, so from corner to corner, just using a ruler to line those up. Oops, there we go. Just going to get a pen and quickly show you what I've done. If I just draw them on so you can see those like that. Okay, and then in this central section, what we need to do is go from the middle bit closest to these score lines and out across that square. So we just pick that up and show you. So if you can see, there we go, you see the score line. So from this section out to there. So I'll draw those on. I'll do them with the scoring tool and then I will go back and draw them on so you can see them as well. Okay, so that's one, and then also on this side, making sure you get your orientation right where you've flipped it round. So all of these lines are effectively going to point into the middle of that square. Okay, so let me draw those on so you can see them there as well. Okay, so I'll just hold that for a second because I know some people like to see it at this point. The next thing we are going to do is fold and burnish all the score lines that we made on our scoring board. Okay, that's them all done. Right. Now, the end that we didn't score, what we need to do is stick down a magnet down there. What I have here are some really strong nano magnets. I just bought these off eBay. You've probably seen me use these before if you've watched some of my other videos. They are tiny. They are 1 millimeter thick, so they don't add a lot of bulk. I think they're about 4 millimeters in diameter. So I'm just going to pull off 2 of those. I'm going to keep them a little bit apart because they are very strong. And what I am going to do is take a glue dot and put that on the back of each of the magnets, and then I'm just going to stick it down in this square here. Okay, do the same on this one, just in the middle, as I said, of that end square. Okay. Now I'm going to get some strong adhesive. I'm going to use Fuse. You could use Tombow for this, but Fuse is just a little bit quicker. And what we want to do is we want to put Fuse on this side of the triangle that we scored, and also go all the way along to the edge and around our magnet. We perhaps should have done this before we stopped the magnet down, actually. Yeah, that would have been better. So put the Fuse down, then stick your magnets down. Make sure you go right to the end and get into that triangle, okay? So you're going to do that on both sides. So making sure you keep the adhesive to this side of your triangle. Okay. And then all we are going to do is fold that over and stick that down. I'm just going to use my bone folder to make sure I get a nice crease around the magnet. Want a bit of adhesive there, and turn it round and do exactly the same on this side. Okay. Then I'm just going to fold this section back over this way. This is going to become obviously our fastening, our flap that goes over the box. Right. Now to start building this together, what we are going to do is where we have that triangle, obviously the pen mark is on the other side now. If you just put your finger sort of along that score line, okay, and then I might actually just see if I can zoom in a little bit for you for this bit. If that's any better. So put your finger on this side of the score line and then just push this finger underneath, and what will happen is you will see, if you did that score line, that will naturally fold up and down like that. Okay, so I'm just going to then get my bone folder in and make that nice and sharp. I'll show you again on this side. So we flipped it round obviously, so I'm just going to put my finger here, fold this up, and you can see how that then presses out, and you can see that bit of the box is starting to come together nicely. I'm just going to get a bit of Tombow into this flap here. Oh, that's far too much, going to squirt out awfully. Try and get some of that off. And just press that up and hold that into position for a second. Do the other side. Bit of Tombow in that crease, and we can stick that down. I'm just going to hold those for a second to keep them tight. Okay, let me zoom back out a bit. Oh, wrong way. Right, that's better. And then on the other side, what we need to do is basically where we have that crease, we're just going to fold that corner in half like that. You can see how that also folds in. And the same on this side. Fold that in half. And then what you can do is fold that down and up. And again, you get that nice sharp corner fold again. Okay, just going to get in with my bone folder and make those nice and sharp. Sorry, the box is obscuring the view a little bit. Let me try and fold that back. So I'm just making those score lines nice and sharp with my bone folder. And then again, we're going to go in with some Tombow, this time on this side of the box to begin with, and then inside that crease section there. Okay, so fold that up and just give that a second, give it a pinch to keep it nice and tight. Okay, on this one too, and then hold that tight. This one's a bit too much, I squirt it out. Okay. So that is our box basically completed. Just need to finish the magnet section. So I'm going to get 2 more magnets. Oh, wondered where they are and they'd stuck to my scissors. And again, put a glue dot on the back of both of those. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is attach these, basically just let them find, oh, make sure, I was good, I've done this wrong. So that was magnets opposite. So make sure you just attach those to here. That one's right. And then put the glue dot on the underside. What I'd done is I put the glue dot on the wrong side, so it was sort of repelling the magnet. So put that on there, and that is holding it in place. And then just close the box up, like that, and press down on top of those magnets, and then when you open it, they will stay stuck on that side. Okay, so you can see there your box is pretty much done, and that is how it folds up and sticks closed. So all that's left for us to do is to decorate it. As I said, we're using some paper from the Pretty Petals, and I've cut a load of mats. So this is the Pretty Petals DSP stack. You've seen me use this a lot before, a lot of really pretty paper in there. And I will write the dimensions of all of these mats over on my blog. So you need quite a few of them. The first one we're going to do is going to stick on here to cover up our magnets. So I'm just going to use snail for this. I'm going to grab one of those strips. That is going to stick on the front there. So this paper uses Pacific Point as its primary colour, but it just has a little hint of mint macaron, which is why I went for that for the box. I thought going Pacific Point for that would be a bit much. So let me just whiz through and stick all these on. So we're putting them on all external sides of the box. Okay. The back here. You can obviously take your time and do this a lot more precisely than I am. Let me snail them all up, and that will make it a bit quicker, won't it? 2 large pieces. Okay, so that one is going to go on the side there, like that. This is then going to go on the outside of the flap. Just there. Oh. And then we've got one piece to go on the centre here. Get my pattern the right way up. And then a final piece, I think, just to put inside. I think it just adds a little bit by having that on the underside of the flap. Inside, of course, it's not imperative. Okay, that then pops up nicely and seals shut perfectly with our magnets. Just a little bit of stamping to finish it off. I'm going to use this stamp from Homemade for You, which is a stamp set I've been using a lot recently because I've started doing some Christmas makes and Christmas crafting, so I've got a few nice projects coming up to share with you on those lines. Got a scrap piece of Whisper White, and I've mounted this bought this just for you stamp already. Mint macaron ink pad to match, and we're just going to stamp that down. Oh, don't like that. Let's try it again over here. There we go. Okay. Got the 1.5 inch circle punch, which coordinates perfectly with this set. With this stamp even, just gives a tiny little border around that circle. Punch that out. And then I have the 1 3/4 inch circle punch, which I'm just going to use to cut out a round of mint macaron. I have a few dimensionals, so I'm just going to pop them on the back of my white my sentiment. Layer that up on top of the mint macaron circle, and then finally a couple of dimensionals on the back here. My battery light is flashing at me, so I know I have plenty of time, but it always makes me a little bit nervous that it's going to cut off. So sorry if I feel like I'm rushing a little bit. And we're just going to stick that right in the middle of a box. And I think that looks pretty special, pretty cute. What do you think? I hope you give it a try. It's a different technique. As I said, it does give quite a sturdy box because most of your edges are double thickness due to the way the box is designed with that folding technique. If you do give it a go, I would love to see your versions and let me know what you put in them. I used them for a friend's birthday present, and she got a lovely little coin purse that fitted perfectly in size of that, and that's where the dimensions came from. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to borrow any Stampin' Up products, please do not hesitate to get in touch. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.